Some people grow up being called the quiet one. Not rude, not distant, just quiet. Teachers say you need to participate more. Relatives ask, why are you so shy? Friends assume you don't have much to say. And over time, you may even start believing your silence means something is missing. But psychology shows something very different. Being a quiet child doesn't create emptiness. It creates depth. In fact, many quiet kids grow into adults with a unique set of emotional and cognitive strengths that louder personalities often spend years trying to develop. Today, we're exploring the hidden effect of growing up quiet and the 5 qualities it quietly builds inside you. Number 1, you learn to observe before reacting. When you grow up quiet, you spend more time watching and speaking. While others fill the room with words, you collect information. Research on temperament shows that children who speak less often process social environments more carefully. Instead of reacting immediately, they scan facial expressions, tone, and timing. They learn pattern. As a child, this might have looked like standing beside the playground instead of running into it, listening during conversations instead of interrupting, not because you had nothing to say, but because you were figuring out what things meant. And that habit doesn't disappear in adulthood. You notice tension in a room before anyone mentions it. You sense when someone says, I'm fine, but isn't. You catch subtle shifts in behavior others overlook. While fast responders dominate conversations, observers understand them. Your silence trained your awareness. Number 2, you develop emotional self-containment. Many quiet children learn early that not every feeling gets expressed outwardly. Instead of immediately releasing emotion, they hold it, process it, and understand it privately. Psychology indicates that reflective processing strengthens emotional regulation, the ability to feel deeply without being overwhelmed by it. As a kid, you probably handled big feelings internally. You replayed conversations in your head. You thought about what people meant. You try to understand why something hurt instead of instantly reacting. People sometimes mistake this for being detached, but the truth is you feel intensely. You just don't leak emotions impulsively. As an adult, this becomes emotional steadiness. In arguments, you pause instead of escalating. In stressful situations, you think while others panic. You rarely say things you regret because your mind checks your emotions before your mouth does. Growing up quiet didn't suppress your feelings. It taught your feelings how to move with discipline. Number 3, you form deeper connections, not wider ones. Quiet children often have fewer friends, but closer ones. Research on social bonding shows that people who speak less during interactions tend to ask more meaningful questions and remember more personal details. This builds stronger trust over time. Instead of jumping between groups, you likely stay with a few people who felt safe. Instead of entertaining everyone, you understood someone. You probably became the friend people confided in, not because you gave the best advice, but because you listened without interrupting, without competing, without turning the story back to yourself. As an adult, this translates into powerful relationships. People feel seen around you. They open up quickly. They feel calm in your presence. You don't collect acquaintances. You build emotional homes. Quietness filters relationships, so only real ones remain. Number 4, you build an independent inner world. When you grow up quiet, a lot of your life happens internally. You imagine conversations before they happen. You rehearse possibilities. You create scenarios, ideas, and reflections in your head. Psychology shows that solitary cognitive activity strengthens abstract thinking and creativity. The brain learns to entertain itself without external stimulation. While louder kids relied on constant interaction, you relied on thought. You probably spent time alone without feeling lonely. You developed opinions privately before sharing them. You questioned things silently instead of following automatically. Now, as an adult, this becomes independent thinking. You don't follow trends easily. You don't panic when alone. You don't need constant noise to feel okay. Your mind is a place you can live in, not escape from. Growing up quiet gave you mental autonomy. Number 5, you speak with intention. Because you didn't speak constantly as a child, you learn that words have weight. Many quiet people grow up being interrupted, talked over, or misunderstood. So when they finally speak, they choose carefully. Research indicates that people who talk less are often perceived as more credible when they do speak, because their words appear deliberate rather than reactive. You probably noticed this in school. When you answered, people listened. When you joked, it landed. When you disagreed, it mattered, not because you were louder, but because you were precise. Now, in adulthood, this becomes influence. You don't dominate conversations, but when you contribute, discussions shift. You don't fill silence. You shape it. Your voice carries impact because it isn't constant. And here's the hidden truth behind all of this. Growing up quiet didn't mean you were socially behind. It meant you were developing internally first. While others practice expression, you practice perception. While others built presence, you build understanding. While others learned how to be heard, you learned what was worth saying. Quiet children often grow into emotionally intelligent adults, not by training, but by necessity. So if you were the quiet kid, the observer, the one who thought before speaking, nothing was missing from you. You were building tools invisible at the time: awareness, emotional control, depth, independence, and intentional communication. And the world doesn't always reward those traits early, but later in life, they become powerful. If this described you, take a moment and recognize it. Your quietness wasn't a flaw you overcame. It was a strength you were growing into. And if you want more insights that help you understand understand your personality, your habits, and the psychology behind how you became you. Subscribe to the channel because sometimes understanding yourself changes how you see your entire past.